What is up, guys? Julian here. Today I'm super excited to be showing you some new breakbeat techniques. This is some stuff I haven't seen on YouTube before that I've never shown you guys that'll really help you take your tracks to the next level. Now, to go along with this video, I've just dropped a new sample pack called Most Powerful Breakbeats Ever. It's right at the top of the description. Definitely go grab that. What it's got here, as you can see, is these 5 individual kits, which all have the individual layers. I'll show you the folders so you can really see in here of each individual breakbeat. So you can see, yeah, you get every single one, you get all the individual, the kick, the snare, all of that, plus the full breakbeat. So you can just work with it like that as well. On top of that, it includes the project files for every breakbeat as well. Literally the Ableton files where I made these, you get. Plus, I've also included a free pack of bonus effects and bonus synth loops. Now, I'll play you some of these breakbeats right now. So you can hear it's all super solid stuff. Also, here's what some of the effects and synths sound like. So you really have everything you need to make a super nice track. I wanted to just create a really solid library, you know, not just to be another breakbeat product, but really this to me is a really solid library that you can take and really make some great tracks with and take your tracks to the next level. You know, I put a lot of time into studying these and understanding how these modern, powerful sounding breakbeats work, and so now you get the benefit of all of that studying that I've done, and you can go ahead and make your own tracks with these and not have to work from scratch every single time, but you can also use these and work from scratch if you want to as well. So it's really the perfect thing to just take your tracks to the next level. And if you need a little bit of extra help, or you just want some new inspiration, or you just want to support your boy, definitely go grab this. Link is at the top of the description. You get all this for just $10, so it's a very nice value. And yeah, thank you so much for all the support, guys. Every sale really helps. You know, I don't make a whole lot off of YouTube alone, but with these sample packs, I'm able to keep bringing you guys new videos and showing you stuff like in this video that isn't out there and that will really help you take your tracks to the next level. So, thank you for all the support, guys. Link is at the top of the description. Definitely go grab that. I also want to let you guys know I have a few slots available at the moment for custom tutorials and ghost productions and track finishing. The link for that is at the top of the description as well. So yeah, thanks for all the support, everybody. Let's dive into the video. So, I have this breakbeat in front of me, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the composition of this. It's kind of like 2 main groups. You have like, you know, your kick and your hi-hat and snare, which kind of represent like the main sounds, right? That's really like the beef of the breakbeat. But then you also have these breakbeats and the little scream sample. And those are also just as important because obviously these give it all the flavor. And I've talked about this a bit in videos before, so I won't go over it too much here, but again, like, it's not just these. Like, everybody thinks it's just getting a nice breakbeat sample, but really you have to have this stuff good first. And I would actually recommend starting with that, your kick and your snare, and then that main hi-hat that's going to sit. Because these breakbeats really only work if those are solid. Right, but when you have the solid kick and snare and hi-hat, then you can hear the breakbeat sound really good and full. Right, so you really got to make sure you have a good kick and snare and hi-hat. You know, it's not over-processed. It's just some good samples. And then the breakbeats will sit on top of that nicely. And you can see with this one up here, I've done a bit of processing. Usually, like, you got to cut out the lows a little bit. I've compressed it a little. And I even drum busted a little bit as well. But yeah, so that's the first thing. You really got to get that first, the kick and snare and hi-hat down, and then do the breakbeats on top of that. The next thing here that I want to talk about is making it a bit more dynamic. Because a lot of times, you guys have heard tracks, and I'm sure when you've tried to make these breakbeats, where it's just that same, like, loop over and over and over, right? And that works for some tracks, but I think making it more dynamic is really the future, right? Like, we're not going to, like, create like a new type of breakbeat or something like that, but you can make that classic breakbeat sound a lot more dynamic and modern. And the way I've done that here is essentially with these little transitions, right? Like you have kind of like the first half, and then you have the second half, and then you have the first half and the second half. And you can see to transition every time you get that little reverse, like I've just reversed this. And then it also goes with the scream as well. Right, and so when you put those together with everything, we also cut out the kick and snare and hi-hat there. It makes that transition nice. And the idea here is that the first one is going to be a little bit lower energy. Right, like this is kind of a chill breakbeat. So then you get the transition. And then this one up here has a lot of energy, and you can see it's processed more as well. So then it's kind of like you're starting with like the more chill, like kind of quiet one. And it's going to go really nicely into that second one. So again, that's not processing, that's not anything other than just understanding like, okay, this break has a little bit less energy, this one has more energy. And then just having that little transition. You know, the reverse is a pretty simple thing to do. And also, that's where the scream comes in as well. You can use like one or two other samples on top of that reverse and on top of that little transition to really make it feel like it's, you know, doing that extra weight of like pulling it. Like, you know, we don't have a snare or a kick or a hi-hat there. So then to have the scream, it's going to transition that really nicely into the next part. And you could use effect sounds for that too. Like if I grab some from my sample pack, like, you know, if we take like something like that maybe. Right, it's a nice transition there. So I recommend doing that. And the key is the extra samples that you're going to use, whether it's a scream, whether it's an effects like that, whether it's a synth or something, just try to really not just use the sound that you think is cool, but use the sound that you think is cool that's going to fit in nicely. Like this scream fits really well here, but if you were to go and get like a, you know, like a super busy synth melody there, or maybe like a bass growl or something like that, it would take up too much space. Like you really got to keep in mind, this sound needs to be, you need to think more about how it relates to the other sounds rather than just like, oh, this is just gonna kind of like fit in here, you know? But yeah, so that fits in really nicely. We also, these are nice, like if you do these little cutouts, like you just do boom. And that's really simple. You just select that and delete it. But yeah, so that is pretty much the technique for making your breakbeats. You can see like it's super simple. I wanted to use this one to just show you like how simple it actually is, right? It's just these 3 main layers and then the breakbeats that sit on top. You know, you're not like layering together 2 breakbeats or anything, right? Like you really just want to keep it to one at a time, very clean, and just let that be loud and powerful. And then again, it's really just sample selection, like knowing that dynamic between this more chill break here and then the one that's a lot more lively. You know, every little detail is working toward that end goal. Nothing is distracting from it. It's you pick what you want it to be, and then everything works toward that, and you have yourself a nice little breakbeat. So, that's going to be it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. As always, make sure to like this video as well as subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video in the comments. Like I said in the beginning, you can grab the most powerful breakbeats ever. Link is right at the top of the description. You get these 5 kits, which have all the individual layers. Again, I'll play you some of these. You know, all super nice and interesting stuff as well. It doesn't just sound the same as everything else out there. Plus, you get the Ableton files for each breakbeat. And on top of that, you get the bonus effects and synth loops. almost everything you need to make a really solid, high quality track. Again, this is so you guys can have something that's accessible, that's really, really high quality, that's going to get your tracks on the level you want them to be. And really, you'll see some results if you start using this stuff. You know, your tracks will go to the next level because it really starts with high quality samples. You can't start with crappy samples and try to over process them. You need something very high quality like this that's got a lot of attention and detail in terms of just like full sounds that sound good right out the gate, and then you can put those together and create a really nice sounding track. So, if you want to make your best music, link is at the top of the description. Thank you so much for all the support, guys. You know, the support to you guys making your best music, it also helps support me. I don't make a whole lot just off of YouTube alone, so the sample packs can help keep me going, so I can keep bringing you guys videos and showing you stuff like this that nobody's really talking about, you know? So, thank you so much for all the support, guys. Once again, link at the top of the description. Go smash that. And you can also book me for a ghost production or a custom tutorial or track finishing. Link is at the top of the description for that as well. Thank you so much for all the support, everybody. And I will see you tomorrow with another video.